Welcome to the Gifted Woman podcast with your host, Muenz. This is the place where you can come into full alignment with who you are without a mask. This is the place to discover what your unique gifts are. So let's go. Hey, what a treat you're in for today, because today we have Katrina Starr, and I just want to introduce her before she introduces herself. Katrina offers a distinctive perspective on money, relationships, and personal growth. As a certified breathworker, somatic expert, life and relationship coach, international best-selling author, and top-ranking podcaster, she naturally draws visionary leaders and founders worldwide. Katrina is a world traveler, nomad for 5 years, and currently living in San Francisco with her 2 children. So, Katrina, I just want to start with saying a little bit about my experience with you when you used to live in Gig Harbor, Washington / Tacoma. And the first time I met you was during a Breath of Love ceremony that you put on. And I walked into this gorgeous space, this studio in Gig Harbor, and I was like, Breath of Love, like that's all I knew about it. I didn't know the description. And then when I was just in your energy, and it was like, I swear there was at least 30 of us, I was like, what is this woman up to? And then from there, went to a couple other things with my husband. And then, I mean, it makes sense why you're doing what you're doing. So I'm just like, I cannot wait to hear everything you have gotten into over the last couple of years and really how you're showing up in the world for yourself and for others. So if you could just give like a current update on what you're doing and how you got to the position you're in, that would be incredible.
Yes, I would have never believed that I would be in San Francisco, supporting the tech community right now. I've been here for a year, and yeah, like the breath, when I met you, Jay, I was hosting breath work, really getting into launching my writing and getting published and podcasting and all that amazing stuff. And then like I launched into another reality of nomadic travel, like learning about relationships and understanding such a deep level of myself. And now today I'm supporting couples with understanding, resolving conflict, resolving things usually around sex and money. That's a huge topic.
Yeah.
Intimacy and like individuals. So I support a lot of individuals, doctors, lawyers, founders in the tech community. And I love it because I finally, instead of trying to look for adventure by traveling all over, I put adventure into my work.
Ooh.
And that has been the most fulfilling thing for me right now. So that's kind of current date. And I'm launching a mastermind for tech founders specifically around AI relational intelligence and how we can use AI to connect humans and connect humanity.
Oh my God. That is next level.
Yeah.
That is next. So how did you even find yourself in the position of working with tech people in San Francisco and like morphing all the different, pivots and growth steps to get to the place that you're at now? How did you land on this?
A lot of it was trusting my feminine and my flow and my intuition. And it was back in May, a year ago in 2023, that I went to a Stripe conference. I got like a free pass to go to a Stripe conference. I was in San Jose at the time. And I went to it and I saw Sam Altman speaking, and I didn't even know who Sam Altman was. I was like, I have no idea who he is. I'm just here.
And I don't know who that is either.
Yeah, so he's the creator of ChatGPT and OpenAI. And so like he was talking from a place of how it's really important for founders to not rely on the dopamine hits and to like not go from the next thing to the next thing and getting all this validation externally, but to really like stay focused on their mission and have that internal place. And the words in the tech community are very similar to some of the words that I use within personal growth, like quantum. And there's other words that are like, but it's a totally different meaning. And so it ignited something in me to go, I want to bring the bridge between tech and personal development closer. So I had to get really like curious about my lack of tech skills
Yeah.
and tech information. And now I'm surrounded in these events. I go to events all the time and I'm in the community within tech. I don't understand the pieces like coding and all that. That's not my stuff. I'm there to represent relational intelligence and to help bring personal transformation to tech. So, but then I also get to learn tech in new ways too and embrace it. So it's kind of like this coming together of tech and personal development. I really feel like I'm on the forefront and helping to open up what's possible for us as humans.
Yeah, and when you were saying that, it was like you're bridging the like, and you're kind of demystifying the fear of AI and technology for people like myself who are just like confused at how a robot can like make coffee. And I'm like, what are going to happen to all the baristas? And so it sounds like what you're doing is you're kind of dissolving the fear and being open to the expansion of it, both within the tech. And that's why you're such a good bridge between the two, because you get it, you understand the language, and you're helping. Like, I want to hear more about the relationships. Like, how are you how are you bringing all of it together? Like, it feels like a synergy.
Yeah, it's really interesting. So I was actually as I was starting to move into the tech space, and I'm like really like I love ideas. I'm like super kind of masculine. I'm in like ideation is like my gift. It's a superpower. So like I have to be able to use that in my life. Like I need to be able to connect dots and think big ideas and help people connect with things as well that are really important. So I was noticing like my support of my clients on the personal level, right? Like relationships and money and sex and all that stuff. It wasn't as alive. And I was like, okay, that feels like not as exciting and alive to me. And I've been doing it for so many years.
Hmm.
So as I started to go into the tech, it was like something really stale. Like it's, you go to these conferences and it's like, oh my, like life force is gone. Nobody's embodied. Everybody's in their head. Like it's
Yes.
just like, and to be there in that presence where you have to really know your tools to really be embodied, to like, you've got to take care of yourself. And so I think that's what, and it's actually helped me to support now by being in that space. I'm actually supporting more of my individual one-on-one clients who are doctors, a rabbi, like different people
Hmm.
in different communities that it's like the things are starting to come together more vibrant for me in that work as I'm like stepping in and being really known and showing myself in the tech world. So it's like
Wow.
it's really interesting. It's like a contrast that has really helped to open up a lot of things for me and new awarenesses of how we can move and through the fear and just really allow love to be a place of acknowledgement when we're moving through some of these crazy times.
Crazy times is right. Now, when these doctors and rabbis are coming to you from the tech world and from this, you know, mind disconnection world, are they coming, like, are you finding a theme as to why they're coming to you? Are you seeing, like, hearing the same things, sensing the same things? And when you talk to them, how do you know you're like, this is exactly how I can help you? Like you know how you have that feeling and you
Yep.
go, thank God they're coming to me because I'm the person that can help unlock this thing. Like, what are they saying?
Absolutely. So I think the biggest thing, the biggest synergy that I see in all of this is trusting that they can find the resources within themselves and within their communities. Instead of trying to find someone else who can come and help save them or give them the things, or it's about really cultivating that awareness and understanding and expanding their ability to receive giant amounts of money and
Yeah.
gifts and funds. And like, I supported a client to raise $3 million. And I was like, I don't know where the money's going to come from. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it did. It happened in 2 months. And it's about really trusting what we have internally and then going out and asking for what we need and
Yes.
what we want and
Yes.
not being limited in that and not expecting someone else to come
Do
in and
it.
save us.
Oh, hell yeah. So it sounds like what you're teaching them is like personal power, but feeling it.
Mhm.
It's not just like saying it and doing the affirmations. You're helping them on the internal unlock DNA codes or something. Like, is that what you would say?
Yeah, I would say that. Like, I would say one founder, he's like, was on one of his podcasts, and he's like, like you were helping me through an existential crisis just by being in your presence, and I like finally understood what gratitude feels like.
Mm.
Like, I actually can feel it now. Like I understand because
Yes.
you show me what gratitude feels like. So now I can also understand what gratitude feels like. And that's a lot of my clients. That's the huge takeaway. They're like, "Oh, I get it. I understand what gratitude feels like."
That's beautiful. Like, I'm just like, because I can feel that too. When that $3 million raising of, that desired client had that desire, what were like a couple things that you took them through in order to believe that they could actually have what they wanted? And then what was like when you say they go out and they ask for it, what did that look like?
So it's so interesting. A lot of what I've found is that we don't, some people, some of us can ask for what we want, but we don't ask for what we need.
Mm,
And so for that client, it was actually this is what they needed for their organization. And I just really helped him to accept that it's okay to ask for exactly what you need. And that was powerful because there was so much like, oh, well, I want this and I want that. And, but there was never a clear, direct communication of this is what I need. And then being able to like actually ask the people that he knew had those
mm.
resources to say, hey, this is what I need. Are you willing to support this?
Yes, yes. Like,
And
and
that's like, but this is like crushing, right? Like, not like, no, I can't do this. There's no way I can't do that.
yeah.
I will not do that. I would rather face total defeat than actually ask for that.
Is that a man thing or is that a man and woman thing?
I think that's a man thing. I think it's very masculine. I think there's some pride in that, especially when it comes around fundraising. Um, and I can also see, with tech founders in the places of they're not getting what they need. They like as far as time management, health, resources, like there's a lot of scarcity. And so it's more that they're asking for what they want, these big, funding $1 to $5 million things.
Mhm.
But the reality is they're not actually thriving in their intimate relationship.
Mm,
They don't have one. They there's a lack
yeah.
of take of self-care, personal responsibility. Like it's just not there. And to be able to even voice that to another person and to communicate that is like, no, I'm not gonna, nope, I'm totally fine. Not gonna say anything
Yeah. Doesn't that make
about,
you, it makes me feel sad. Like, it's a person that's great. And I feel like a lot of men
mm,
are now coming into this era of like, wait a second, I've thrived in my field, but my marriage is crumbling. But I'm going to all these different appointments to figure out why this hurts and why this is sore. and they're like, what the hell is going on? It's like the American dream that was promised is not. And you're probably working with a lot of these people that they're like, their heads and their bodies are in separate places. And so it sounds like you're really bringing like everything together. So, like for a guy to go, oh, I can't do that. I can't ask for that. I'd rather like cut off my right foot. But so are you going in there when they say things like that and you're kind of like softening what could potentially be the blow? If they get a no, then they go, oh, it's just a no. And then they can move on and ask. That is leadership mastery.
Yep. Yeah,
Wow. Full
absolutely.
body.
And yeah, and
Yeah.
somatic, like really identifying the somatic things, past childhood trauma, all the stuff that is preventing them from that actual ask because they are deserving and worthy. And so many men, in their 40s and 50s, it's just like, what? I did all the things and
Yeah.
this sucks.
Yes.
And I don't like this. And then just being able to have support in that truth and accept it, for to be witnessed in accepting that this sucks and I don't want to be here, is so powerful.
That
So
and things change.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So when you're like, I want to know what's coming up because I know that people listening to this right now, some of them are going to totally identify with the people that you work with, or they're going to know someone. So, what's coming up for people in the tech industry or people who might have felt like their heads are in one place and their bodies are in another? Where and what is coming up for you that you can offer them that they would just want to jump into immediately?
Oh, they could immediately connect with me. I guarantee, like, if you had private one-to-one support with me for a month, things will start to reconnect and you'll be like, what just happened?
Yes.
It's like earth shaking. So I offer support in a lot of variety of ways. I like to kind of assess the what's going on, but I yeah, I would love to offer support for anyone who, even if we just do coaching, it doesn't have to be somatic, it doesn't have to be all this stuff. We can offer some major clarity and breakthroughs
Hell
for
yeah.
taking action. Yeah.
And you have something coming up, don't you? Is it a new mastermind?
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
mastermind that I have are for really well-established tech founders and who have a understanding of personal development and who are really wanting to give to the community and understand what AI relational intelligence really is to help empower all of their relationships.
And
So
when is that?
that's going to start in September, and I'm taking seat deposits right now and hand selecting those who I want to work with for that. And the mastermind is its own amazing thing. I can't wait to see what comes out of it.
Oh my God. And you said that that starts in September?
Yep.
Okay. And one last thing is when you said that you wanted to really speak on it's sexy to ask for what you want, can you explain how you started asking for what you want and how that really started changing your whole life and its trajectory?
I wasn't happy in my marriage, and I felt stuck and stagnant, and I knew that we needed to do something different. So I was like, you know what? We're selling our house and we're going to do this world traveling thing. It just was like, I'm going to ask for what I want. I want to travel. I want my kids to be exposed to different cultures. And yeah, was that difficult? Oh my God. Like I had never left Washington State for more than 3 weeks at a time. So asking for what I want, that was like, usually I would just know what that's not that important. I can do everything else for everybody else. But that really shifted my whole trajectory of how I relate to others because what I want is important and it's sexy and
Yes.
it's amazing. And what I want and need is important and valuable, and it actually can help to resource and encourage others to actually ask for what they want.
You know, I had this moment, you're flash me back. I had this moment this morning where Alex, my husband, came home and he was from an appointment. He was getting ready to go to the next appointment. And I thought to myself, it would be so much easier for him if our son stayed home. But then that would inconvenience me because I had a lot of things I needed to get done. And I found myself going, well, and then I stopped myself and I said, have fun. And I was like, whoa, it was a total instant shift. And I've been noticing more of that starting to come up. And I don't know if it's as you enter your 40s, you just come into a whole new thing. But I can attest that it is really sexy because you empower yourself when you start saying, actually, I am no longer inconveniencing myself to make it convenient for you.
No, that has to, because it's actually so, I think the one thing that men love, what I've seen, is when a woman is really clear on what she wants and
Yes,
needs. It's like,
it's
oh, thank
sexy.
you. Like now I know now I know how and where and what feels aligned for me and how I
Yes,
would like to give. And then the man can just reciprocate in ways of being like, well, this is what I want and this is what
yes.
I need. Because if there's willingness to play and there's, oh, that's when like real connection happens.
Yeah. And when it's people pleasing on both ends, then you're like, you feel like you're playing a part. You're like, what are we doing here? Like, I'm actually don't want to do that, but I'm saying yes. And I think what you're teaching a lot of the Silicon Valley people is that in order to one, be taken more seriously, two, to grow in your certainty, and three, to really have the confidence to be the success you imagine for yourself, like that person who wanted that $3 million investment, like you have to start really boundarying up by, again, going back to asking for what you want and asking for what you need. So I'm sure people coming into your world are like, they're finally being validated in all the things that they want, and they feel like they can just let the other stuff just rest and roll off their back, so that stuff can be left in the past and they can be more powerful leaders in their industry.
It's required.
Yeah.
I think this is required for
Yeah.
leaders in
Yes.
as we're moving forward. It's required. Like if we want to have a humanity that cares, that's genuine, that actually really evolves in
Yeah.
amazing ways, it's required. We
Yes.
have to ask for what we want and need. And I mean, it's funny, there was this thing about Elon Musk saying it doesn't matter what you want or need. And I'm like, it actually does. Like it really does.
Yeah, you're like,
And
excuse me, human race, hello.
I mean, that's great for the like what most wealthiest person on the planet to say, oh, well, it doesn't matter what you want or need, right? That's not how you make
Well, and what
money.
a projection. It's like, how long have you felt that way about yourself? I mean, like, thank you for trying to cast that to the world, but we're not biting.
Yeah, it's like, no,
No,
no.
thank you for the suggestion and no. So everyone
And
can know exactly how to find you. Katrina, you're in a league of your own, and the lives that you're changing, it's gonna create such a ripple effect. And I'm loving that you're in this industry that is so untapped and needs your level of internal power so you can help so many who are creating for so many.
I am thrilled to be here. It's been a metamorphosis for me. I mean, it's been really challenging and brought up a lot of stuff for me this past year being in Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Um, and it's not something where I would have ever expected to be. But it's funny because there was a women's event that I did 8 years ago called Amplify Your Life, or 7 years ago. I'm in the Tacoma News Tribune. And I was talking about like how tech like can impact the world and like it's so important and like tech bros and like all this stuff and how we need to like have communities of supporting like these big expansion things. And I'm like, that was 7 years ago. I look back on that article, I'm like, oh my God, I manifested that.
You did. The fact that you said that, and I also remember Amplify Your Light because I feel like I was like, I want to do Amplify Your Light, like and it makes sense. Like you're doing that in the highest frequency. You ultimate manifester. Okay,
I
I
mean,
love
yeah,
you. And I just thank you so much for amplifying your light so you can amplify others' lights too.
thank you, Jay. and right back at you. It's just been amazing to witness the growth.
Of both of our souls.
Both of us. You're amazing. Such a divine, amazing soul, Jay.
Thank you, my angel. Right back at you. I love you.
Love you.
Okay. I'll see you soon, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Bye, my darling.
Bye-bye.